Hi, everybody. My name is Thomas Wellington. Welcome to my channel, Starting Sober at 50. This is my second episode, so I should be getting better at this as time goes on. I'd like to share a story with you. It's kind of like a dark story, but it's kind of funny, if that makes any sense. So I'll just get right into it. I really didn't know too much about AA back when I was, a teenager, a kid. And I was introduced to it in a kind of weird way. My friend, a lifelong friend, had his mother went on a trip for, I guess, close to a week. She was going to be away, and he was going to have the house, to himself. So once she left, we let our other friends know, this person, my friend, we'd have a house to go to and party. So we loaded up, we got a big giant bag of weed and managed to get like 2 cases of beer. And, we kind of just, that was kind of like not the place where we were going to have the party. It was just a kind of like a place where we could hang out, get a little tuned up, and then go on about, what we were going to do for the evening or whatever. But, so what happened was, me and my friend partied a little bit. We smoked like a joint or two and drank a couple beers. And, we were having a good time just listening to music, doing with what teenagers usually do. And the phone rang. And back then in the day, they weren't cell phones. There was nothing like that. You don't know who was on the other end of the phone, but one of the specific things that his mother told him is that if the phone rings, pick it up, because I'm just calling to check in on you and make sure, everything is okay. So he picks the phone up, and immediately we're both giggling and laughing because we're kind of high and, got a nice buzz going on and everything. And he picks the phone up, and he kind of sits there and listens for a minute. And then he just he covers his mouth and kind of starts to, laugh. And I'm like, holy shit, if this is his mom, she's going to know something's up, we're laughing. We can't stop laughing and stuff. And he puts his hand over the receiver of the phone. And he's like, it's my mom. My mom sponsors this lady. And I'm like, okay, well, what is that? He's like, she's calling from AA. And, and he still has his hand over the phone. He's like, what should I do? What should I do? I'm like, well, talk to her, find out what she wants or whatever, So he's talking to her, he's listening, he's giggling, he's laughing, trying to hold it in. And then I guess he got to the point where he just he was laughing so hard he couldn't hold it in. So I said, here, give me the phone. So he gives me the phone, and he goes, and I guess he gets on the other phone in the house so he could hear, what I'm saying. I have no idea what's going on. So this lady, I get on the phone with her, and she is just like a mess. I mean, she is crying, and I don't understand what's going on. Here I am thinking something bad's going on, something, I have no idea. So I'm getting a little freaked out. I'm a little, suspicious of what, what's the deal here? And she asked, who am I speaking with? And, I told her my name. And she's like, oh, I really need to talk to somebody, this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? And she's like, I slipped. And I'm like, you slipped? I'm like, are you okay? I mean, did you fall? You need an ambulance or something? She goes, no, I slipped. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean you slipped? And she's like, I drank tonight and I feel really guilty. I drank a lot and I'm pretty drunk. And, so I'm trying to call my sponsor and, she's not there. Son answers the phone. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, is there something that I can help you with? So she starts going into this whole big story about like why she picked up, the bottle and started drinking. I'm listening to her. I see my friend in the other room and he's like dying. He's just laughing and I'm trying not to laugh, because I have no idea what I'm going to say to this lady because I'm drunk and stoned. And she keeps going on and on, and I'm listening to her. And then she starts saying stuff like, I don't want to live anymore. This is too much. I can't do this anymore. And then I was like, whoa. Then that feeling of being drunk and high kind of just like went out the window at that point. I'm like, excuse me? And she was like, yeah, I don't think I can take this anymore. And I'm like, oh, hold on, I'm like, it can't be that bad. I'm like, let's talk for a while. So me and this lady end up talking for about almost an hour. And, my friend's in the other room still, he's listening in. And basically, I've got her to calm down. And I basically talked her off the ledge. She was getting ready to jump. She was like ready. She was very depressed. And so we ended up hanging up after, I felt that, and she felt that she was okay. She just needed somebody to talk to. So I get off the phone and my friend comes running back in the other room and he's dying. He's laughing his butt off. I'm giggling a little bit too. And I'm like, what's going on, dude? Tell me, like, well, what just happened? He's like, my mom is in AA and she's been sober for a long time and she's sponsoring this other lady. And I'm like, well, what's a sponsor? And he's like, it's kind of like a mentor. It's like somebody you call, like if you feel like you're going to pick up and you're going to drink or whatever, you have a sponsor to call. It's like it's a mentor. And I'm like, oh. He's like, I'm a little worried now because, like, my mom's coming home in a couple days. She's going to, tell my mom that she spoke to a guy named Tom. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, well, I'm like, just tell her, that I'll say something. Tell your mom you were taking a shower and I answered the phone because I thought, it was her calling, checking on him. So a couple days pass and his mom comes home a little early from her vacation. And she comes home to a house that's like, on the coffee table, we had a pyramid of empty beer cans that we built. And there was a big bag of weed sitting there. He wasn't home. I wasn't home. So she calls him up and he comes home and makes this, creates this story it's like so unbelievable, but his mom bought it. And she's like, so-and-so called me. And he was like, yeah. And it was a lady I was talking to on the phone. And she said, next time you talk to Tom, she's like, tell him that I said thank you for what he did. Because she said he was very polite on the phone, and this and that. And I appreciate what he did. And that was, that was nice of him to do that. And he's like, okay, Mom, no problem. I'll tell him. So he came back and, we're laughing about the whole thing, how he covered up the whole, like, why is there like a pyramid of beer cans, a big sack of weed sitting there, because she came home early. We would have had it all cleaned up. And she, that's basically, how the story went. The lady was okay. I guess she continued going to AA and everything, but it's kind of ironic how that happened, because that introduced me like to what AA was. I was like interested at that point. It actually took that conversation and that memory of mine, who knows, like 33 years later, 30 or 35 years later, that lady was me. It was me now. Not now at this point, but that was me. I got to that point where I felt helpless. I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. And it's just kind of how things came full circle. And, that was one of the steps that I knew about that was available to me when I was ready to go ahead and get sober and this and that. So I don't want to dig in too much to that right now, because there's an episode that's upcoming that I'm gonna do, specifically talking about AA and my experiences with AA. But I just wanted to kind of put this short little video out there and share that story with you. It's just funny how things work out, and that's basically it. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any comments, leave them, down below in the comment section. If you'd like me to do any specific videos or in anything, I've done just about everything. So I'm sure if you want to see a certain video or something like that, I have a story for it. And until next time, I just want to go ahead and throw out that number for the suicide hotline. And I keep saying this: if you know somebody, or yourself that is thinking suicidal thoughts or thinking of harming themselves or others, please call the suicide hotline or crisis line. It's 1-800-275-8255, and that'll be posted at the end of my video, like the one I did before. But until then, wait to my next video. It should be coming out in a couple days. All right, have a great day. Peace. See ya.